All right, let's jump right in. We're going to break down this short, but wow, incredibly powerful story. It's all about faith, judgment, and a miracle, one that really makes you question what true devotion even is. And it all kicks off with this totally shocking accusation in a really sacred place.
So just picture this, right? You're in a moment of worship and bam, it's shattered by this incredibly harsh statement. A husband, in front of a priest, calls out his own wife. He says she's committed a grave crime. Now, to really get why this is such a huge deal, we've got to understand the context.
Okay, so in this world, ritual purity is everything. It's paramount. So this accusation, it's not just him being mad at her. No. This is a charge of a deep spiritual violation. He genuinely believes her breath, just her breath, has ruined a sacred object, making it completely useless for worship.
The key word you need to know here is apavitra. Seriously, this one word is the foundation for everything that's about to happen. It means impure, desecrated, basically that the lingam has been spiritually contaminated, at least in the husband's mind. And we're not just talking about something being unclean here. Think of it more like a deep spiritual stain, something that makes the object and the whole ritual totally powerless.
And the fallout, whoa, it's fast and it is severe. Based on what he sees as a ritual mistake, he doesn't just tell her off, he renounces her on the spot, just like that. So the stakes here they're immediate and honestly, they're absolutely devastating.
But okay, just when you think this human drama can't get any more intense, the story takes a hard left turn into the supernatural. The whole conflict suddenly goes from being about a husband's judgment to this divine mystery.
So the husband, he's totally confident, right? He tells the priest, don't worry, I got this. He goes through this whole ritual to re-purify the lingam, to fix the mistake his wife made. But his plan does not work out. In fact, something completely opposite happens. And then, poof, the sacred object, the very thing at the heart of this whole argument, it's just gone. It vanishes. The thing he was so desperate to protect and purify has been completely taken off the board.
So you gotta be asking the same question I am, right? Why? Why would a sacred object just disappear? Is it a punishment? Is it some kind of sign? I mean, what could possibly make a physical object of worship vanish right in the middle of an argument about how to worship it?
Well, the husband's answer comes fast, and he doesn't waver for a second. He doesn't look at himself, he doesn't question his own actions, nothing. He just doubles down. He declares that the lingam vanished the moment his impure wife walked in. So once again, all the blame is thrown right back on her. Okay, so while the guys are over there freaking out and pointing fingers, what does the wife do? Something remarkably simple. She doesn't argue, she doesn't cry. Instead, she just performs this quiet, humble act of faith. And this, right here, is the turning point of the entire story. Remember her husband's big, fancy repurification ritual? It failed. But her simple act, just pouring some water on the empty spot, it works a miracle. And just like that, the lingam is back. It reappears right where it's supposed to be. The priest sees this, and he is just completely floored. His question says what everyone must be thinking. How? How could her simple act, this supposedly impure act, actually work when all our perfect, rigid rituals failed so spectacularly? And that's what brings us to the story's incredible conclusion. See, that miracle, it wasn't just random. It was a verdict. It was the divine answer to this whole conflict. And it was definitely not the answer anyone saw coming. I mean, just look at the two sides here. You've got the human judgment, she's a fault, she makes things impure. And then you have the divine outcome. Her action creates a miracle, and her faith is what brings the sacred object back. You really can't get a clearer contrast than that, can you? And this is the kicker, the final line that explains it all. The lingam came back for one simple reason. Because Mahadev, the great god Shiva, accepted her devotion, her pure heart, her simple faith. It was more powerful than any fancy ritual, and definitely more powerful than any man's judgment.
So what are the big takeaways here? Well, first, the story creates this incredible contrast between just going through the motions of a ritual and having real, sincere faith inside. It also kind of shows us that human judgment, especially when it's fast and harsh, is usually pretty flawed. And the biggest point of all, true devotion, the kind that comes from the heart, has a power that can overcome any rule, any ritual, any time.
And that really leaves us with one final big question to chew on, doesn't it?
When it comes to faith, what's really more important? Getting all the external rituals exactly right, or having that simple, sincere, devoted heart? I think this story gives us a pretty clear and miraculous verdict on that one.